Welcome to the Persecution Report. I'm Greg Musselman. Coming up, thousands of Christians are still fearful to return to their homes in Orissa, India.
I think if the violence against Christians in Orissa will not be stopped here at this juncture, I think this violence will spread all over country.
Later, the high cost for Muslims who convert to Christianity in Pakistan.
Once they shot him and the bullets went into his stomach and shoulder. He was threatened with phone calls. He eventually had to leave Pakistan and have the bullet removed from his shoulder.
Those reports are coming up. Christians continue to be targeted in violent and deadly attacks in Mosul, Iraq, despite the dispatching of army troops to the area. 40-year-old Christian businessman Hazim Tamaso Youssef was assassinated in front of his clothing shop in the northern city. A 25-year-old shopkeeper was shot and killed in the neighborhood of Karama, while the Christian music store owner Farqui Batul was killed and his nephew injured when gunmen stormed into his store and opened fire. Some Christians believe that Islamists are targeting shop owners in an effort to wipe out the Christian community's economic activity and drive believers from the area. Hundreds of Christian families have fled Mosul. Armed Muslims entered local churches and homes and told the believers they would be killed if they did not vacate the city. Thousands of people in Orissa State, India were forced to live in government-protected camps, afraid to return to their homes. Christians in New Delhi, the capital, were protesting on behalf of their fellow believers in Orissa.
We as citizens of India are, as any other religious people, have got the same right to live peacefully in this country.
There has been some response by the state government. More police have been sent to the hardest hit areas in Orissa and Karnataka. There have been a few arrests, including several men accused of the brutal gang rape of a nun. Still, the attacks continue, and Christians fear that if the central government doesn't intervene, the violence will spread to more states.
I think if the violence against Christians in Orissa will not be stopped here at this juncture, I think this violence will spread all over country.
India's Christians are crying out for an end to the violence. Nevertheless, they have faith that the church will grow strong in the midst of persecution.
Through what is happening in Orissa and other parts of the country, I feel the Christianity will be strengthened, because Christianity came to existence through persecutions. So where there is more persecution, it will be more vibrant. That is what I believe.
Please continue to pray for the followers of Jesus in Orissa and throughout India in this very tense and dangerous time, and also pray for those who have lost loved ones. From Egypt, the Appeal Court of Alexandria granted custody of 13-year-old Christian twins Mario and Andrew to their Muslim father, who changed their religion to Islam on their birth certificates when he converted to Islam. The court ruled in favor of their father in spite of Article 20 in Egyptian law, which grants custody of underage children to their mothers, and also a religious ruling from a respected Islamic leader giving her custody. David Joseph, who works with persecuted Christians in Egypt, isn't surprised by the ruling.
Well, this is kind of a common thing in Egypt, because the Sharia law said that if one of the parents converted from Christianity to Islam, he has to have the custody of the kids.
The Christian community in Egypt faced many injustices, one of the worst being the kidnapping and forced marriages of Christian girls to Muslim men.
Almost every day we have cases like that. It's not only like, it's kind of like a lifestyle now. And when the dad or mom or brother go to report the police, they usually beat them, and they usually let them sign like a paper telling them that you are not supposed to ask about them or to come near them or to harm them if you find them. And they don't help at all in trying to find them. And most of the cases, they know, the police know where these girls or, women, but they don't help in that. In the other side, they come against the dad or the mom. As we talk about this case, her dad went and reported to the police, but the police beat him, and then they forced him to sign a paper saying that you can't ask about her.
A mob of approximately 60 people led by a Buddhist monk and a local politician set fire to a partially constructed church hall in Sri Lanka belonging to the Prayer Tower Church in Milan Kamula Putlam district. That's according to a report from the National Christian Evangelical Alliance of Sri Lanka. Several Christians who tried to intervene in the attack were assaulted. Police officers were eventually able to disperse the crowd. However, around midnight, some of the attackers threatened to kill Christian children if they attended school the next day. The arson attack was the second in the district in recent months as another church building was burned down on the island nation. The hostility against Christians has been stepped up in the last several years, going from destroying churches to attacking Christians. Still to come on the persecution report. Youssef came to Christ in 2004 in Pakistan. Since then, has spent most of his time hiding with his wife and young son from militant Muslims who want him dead unless he returns to Islam.
Several times I was kidnapped and was taken to an unknown place where they would hit me. For a month I couldn't listen very well because my hearing was damaged. Several times I was tortured physically.
If you live in Canada and don't yet receive our free monthly newsletter about today's persecuted church, sign up today at the top right of the screen or go to persecution.net. There's simply no better way to learn about the faith and courage of our brothers and sisters around the world and how you can stand together with them. And you can also share the newsletter with friends and family. Sign up today.